Alright, here we go with Ikari Warriors. Alright, so the idea here is just that I have very limited time lately to be producing almost any kind of video, and it's just been a real struggle to put something together on my work schedule, come up with ideas in the first place, and then write it, draft it. And I just really want to make sure that the channel doesn't start to suffer. I'm also, yeah, boy, the first death. I'm also, trying to find time on my own to even sit and play games, which has been hard lately. Really, there's about a 30 to 45 minute time frame from when I get out of work to when my evening actually starts, and dinner has to be made, the dog's got to go out, my wife's home, I actually have to spend some time with her, and editing videos and everything has just become tough. And like I said, I'm definitely not giving up on anything here, but the channel was selfishly motivated to begin with. Like, that was the whole idea behind this. It was just kind of capturing some moments in time, playing some things with my best friend, and obviously he's very busy now too, and things just start getting farther and farther away from you, and that's not always necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like I starting off with the channel, it was just kind of, oh, let's do some games together and have some fun. And along the way, I kind of picked up some other things to work on, and some other ideas, and I was kind of forced to go solo. And I think that's been really cool, and it's probably a positive in a lot of ways, because it's might not have been something I would do. But at this stage, it's funny. This past weekend was the Too Many Games Con, and as we were walking around, one of my friends said to me, all these games that are here, too many games, and all the shit that we have at home and stuff that we have to play, and we're here just shopping and doing more. And at this age, or this stage I should say, of our lives, we probably have more stuff than we'll ever get through. And that's kind of sad in a lot of ways. That was depressing to me, and I started thinking I really need to just start experiencing things more, and getting recommendations from those of you that watch the channel I think is really cool. One of the things that I think is lost sometimes in everything that's YouTube is what a great social media platform it is for just connecting with people. And I think, getting something out of it, again, it's that whole selfish motivation for even having the channel, connecting with other people and hearing the games that they like to play, and getting recommendations from people out there is something that I'd be looking forward to. This is a very long-winded intro, and I apologize for that. This is completely unscripted. I don't even have notes or cards or anything in front of me for talking points, and just kind of, this is very much a sneak peek into Joe after work, trying to get a little bit of gaming time in. And at this point, I'm just thinking, why not share that with everybody else every now and then? Sometimes still has to be kept to myself, but maybe once a week, twice a week, I'll try to do something like this and get that out there as a supplement. And I know not everybody's going to be into listening to me ramble, but or just playing games, but it's a nice check-in for me, and helps keep things moving along. And I try to read most of the comments, and a lot of times I think I've been pretty good about responding, leaving comments down below and telling me what you like about the particular game I played, or a good spin-off, or something that would fit in the same genre. That's always cool to hear. But yeah, so today, now that I'm like halfway through the stage, is Ikari Warriors. And of course, this game is made by SNK, which most of you guys that follow the channel know is a big company that I like to follow and buy games from. And so this was one of the first games, I don't want to say it was one of the first games, but it's one of the earlier games I remember playing co-op on Nintendo. And I mean, I'll be honest, this game itself is kind of a sludge fest. You're just kind of, like, he doesn't even walk that fast. And I mean, look at this, like, to walk over now to kill this guy, it's just, I don't know. And I can list all these things that I really don't like about this game, but I would still sit and play it. And I don't know why that is, but you know, the only thing I can really think of is it definitely has that pick up and play mentality. So, you know, me today coming off of work, I, you know, regardless of what happens at work or the state of mind I'm in, I've got two buttons. One shoots a gun and the other throws a grenade. And you work yourself from south to north. And that's the premise of the game. So it's pretty easy to play regardless of your mindset. And a lot of arcade games are that way. You got infinite continues on this one with ABBA. Just tapping that if you find yourself out of lives, and you can just kind of keep moving. Oh, and boy, and here, as if the game wasn't slow enough, let's and that guy. Let's make you walk through water. Obviously, looking at the character modeled after Rambo, right? I think that's probably pretty obvious. Interestingly, I think, boy, I'll probably get this wrong, in the arcade, or I should say the Japanese version of this game, the characters are named Clark and Ralph, I believe. Clark is actually in the King of Fighters series, and both Clark and Ralph appear in Metal Slug 6 and 7, I believe. You can pick them as characters. So the Ikari Warriors are actually playable characters in, well, Clark is in King of Fighters, and then Clark and Ralph are selectable in Metal Slug. So that's kind of a interesting tidbit. But for the American version of Ikari Warriors, which I'm playing here, I think they renamed them Paul and Vince. I think the inclusion of vehicles was pretty cool. It was neat. I actually kind of like the tanks when they're sitting there glowing blue and pink. I think that's a cool effect. And then obviously, it turns pink if you're the first player getting in. There's one stage in this where I want to say there's like a Nazi logo somewhere on the floor of like one of the bases that you enter, which kind of alludes to that, these guys are all Nazis, but not World War II era. This is tough without a tank. So neo-Nazis, I guess, if you will. Always a good classic bad guy. There we go. This is just a long game to play through, and I mean, it's the first stage and stuff is cool, but after playing this for so long, it just becomes, especially by yourself, it just becomes a little monotonous. So if you're wondering, I am playing this on my top loader. Top loader has the high def NES mod in it, so this is being great. So this is being output in 1080p into the capture card. It's really slick for modern televisions, and I really like the look of it. I've kind of grown accustomed to having a CRT, and I still love CRT hands down. But again, for convenience sake, capturing and just playing some games, especially if I'm wanting to put together a video for the channel or something, the convenience factor just can't be beat. So if you played this in the arcade, you remember there's two sticks. It's kind of like an 8-way joystick, and then you could kind of also rotate the stick and that, you know, to fire. And obviously the NES pad is not going to lend itself to that type of control, so you're just kind of using the digital pad to move him around and point him in the direction you want to go, as well as fire. So it's not terrible, all things considered. But I know for the SNK 40th anniversary that's coming out, I think that might only be coming out for Switch. That is going to have, I think I read last week, that is going to incorporate the dual sticks. So I'm assuming like your left stick moves your character and the right will fire, which actually, you know, having played the Nintendo version for so long, that's going to be quite different. Even if you're playing the arcade version on an emulator, I can't imagine many people have like a dual stick setup. I actually don't even know if you can set that up or not. I'm sure somebody can tell me if that can happen or not. I've still yet to see Solo. I understand that that's not doing very well in the theater. I never really had much interest in seeing that. Just, it's one of those things that I kind of already know. You know, I've met the character years ago. I've been introduced to that character. And unfortunately, at this point, I also know how that character dies. So, to tell a story that's mid-sequence, it was lame. To tell a story that's you know, mid-sequence where I kind of already know the ending, and there's you know, I know there's no real stakes because he's not gonna die. I already know what Harrison Ford looks like when he was younger, you know, and so just wrapping my brain around, you know, I don't even remember the actor's name, but that's Han now. It's just distracting, and I don't know, that's probably my own issue, but I just didn't really have a lot of interest in a prequel Star Wars movie. I did see Rogue One. I was lukewarm on that. And at least that, you know, that had some stakes to it because it was kind of an X factor. When you are just basically showing me Han Solo and you're going to tell me a new story, I don't know. It's just not, it's not for me. So for television, what have I been watching lately? I would say, I started Lost in Space on Netflix. I think I'm only like 3 episodes into that. It's, I don't know, I'd kind of give it a B. I think the production values are pretty good on it. Definitely probably finish it over time, but I'm not like in a hurry to kind of see what happens. I am wanting to start season 2 of Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton on Amazon. I did enjoy the first season of that. And again, just with things being so crazy busy for me, you know, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to sit and even tear through TV seasons. Got a trip to Tennessee on deck, and what else? Obviously, I was in Philly last weekend, and I got a trip to the beach planned in September. Trying to decide. October, the same venue that hosts Too Many Games has a event called RetroCon, which is more, it seems more toy based, and I'm trying to decide if I want to hit that weekend or not. It should be fun nonetheless, and it's a short drive for me. Like, look how slow he's walking. You just want to get up there and take that guy out, and everything is just, see with that grenade, like I just want to keep moving and move on, and so I'm willing to like sacrifice a life just to keep going again, because it's all about angles and distance of explosion. And then even when he throws that grenade, you backing up, it's just you know, do you have enough time to do it? It's not a great way to have your game rest on those types of mechanics. You got that to deal with. His grenades have a larger explosion. I got him, but then I died too. And so there's just more stages of this. And we don't have time for that today. So that is Ikari Warriors Stage 1. Just a quick sneak peek into my life 30 minutes or so after work on a weekday. None of these will be playthroughs. It'll just be getting a taste of different games that I haven't experienced. I just happened to pick Ikari Warriors today. I was familiar with it and wanted to kick things off with something I was a little bit more comfortable with. But yeah, let me know in the comments what games you guys would like to see me play. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys all next time. Later, guys.